Gearbox as a developer kind of makes me laugh, because when you look through their development history, it's almost like you can pinpoint the exact moment where the hubris set in. Because, like, you look at their Wikipedia list of just the games they've developed, and you can see, like, humble beginnings, right? Half-Life expansions, a random Tony Hawk port, and then the Brothers in Arms series, which really put them on the map and showed that they had creative ideas with their own IP and that they could really go in cool directions. And it's almost like their success with Brothers in Arms immediately set off the hubris, because you move over to decade number 2 and you have Borderlands, and then Duke Nukem Forever, and then Borderlands 2, and then Aliens Colonial Marines, and then just a whole bunch of random nonsense that is all over the quality spectrum. Like, looking through their games, it's almost painfully obvious where you can see that the talented people were like, okay, we're getting our bearings together, we can do something really cool on our own, and then you had one guy calling the shots being like, yeah, but what if we also did this? And that one guy is Randy Pitchford. So in case you missed it, Randy Pitchford of Gearbox was recently engaged with on Twitter by a fan asking for Borderlands 4 to not be $80. To which he responded very eloquently and very carefully and with a ton of respect for his supporter, quote, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store had Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen.
You know, a lot of people ask why. Why treat the customer this way? Why? Because f*** them, that's why.
So, if you don't want Borderlands 4 to be $80, you just aren't a real fan. Which I find to be a fascinating thing for someone to say in response to someone asking them not to make their new game so expensive, because this is the same guy who was in charge of Borderlands 3, which is universally seen as the game that got this franchise off track and threw everything overboard. And also, apparently Randy's management of the development of this game was #NotFantastic, and also in charge of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, the spin-off, which was not exactly a huge sales success. It didn't really get the Borderlands series back on track in the way that they were hoping it would, which, you know, that one's a little more understandable because it was a spin-off, and spin-offs are never as successful as the main installment of a franchise. Am I right, Nier Automata? Am I right, Hyrule Warriors? Am I right, Metal Gear Rising? Am I right, Apex Legends? Am I right, Fortnite Battle Royale? But I am just, I'm astonished. I am astonished. I am dumbfounded. I am gobsmacked. And we all know Randy Pitchford is a bit of a scumshoe, right? This dude does not have the best track record when it comes to being a decent person. He also does not have the best track record when it comes to not having complete fuckwit hairstyles. But you are releasing a game. It is your comeback game for this franchise. Borderlands has drastically fallen off over the last decade. That much is undeniable. Gearbox as a developer has drastically fallen off over the last decade. That is undeniable. So here comes Borderlands 4. It's meant to be the game that gets everything back on track, and it's being released at a time when attitudes towards the AAA industry are not exactly great right now. People are not happy with the state of AAA gaming, with the state of how expensive everything is, especially. People are not happy with the state of AAA gaming. People are not happy with the way everything is so goddamn expensive in AAA gaming, and just gaming as a whole right now. Meanwhile, some of the most successful games of the entire year have been the ones that are below market price. Games like Expedition 33, games like the Oblivion remaster. It's almost like when you want people to buy a whole bunch of copies of your game and you want your game to be as successful as humanly possible, you make sure as many people will buy it as humanly possible, and the best way to do that is to not price them out. And that's not even mentioning the attitudes in AAA gaming. People are so fucking sick of the hubris in AAA gaming. The idea that these publishers and these corporations can charge us as much as they want and that we're just gonna deal with it. There's this growing sense that AAA gaming cares about their consumers less than they ever did before. We all know that these corporations don't give a shit about us. That's been undeniable, that's been unavoidable, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're corporations, you know, they're not your friend, so it's not weird when a corporation doesn't care about you personally. But it does make it hard to support companies when they're so open about it. And a lot of companies have been extremely open about it, and then you come into this environment, all those things that I just said, you come into that environment specifically, and you drop this. just months away from your big comeback game, this is what you tell people. Randy, what did you think was going to happen? I'd also like to point out that at the time that I'm making this video, which making some final adjustments on Wednesday, May 21st, and we are now at 454 likes to 3.2 thousand comments. Randy Pitchford, give it up for the worst CEO ratio I've ever seen. And someone in the replies made a good point. It's a little weird for Randy to be so gung-ho on $80 games for Borderlands 4 when Borderlands 4 was approved, budgeted, and developed basically in its entirety while $70 games were the standard. Like, there's really no defense of this. You can't pull the, inflation thing with this game because it was entirely developed under a $70 expectation. That is, unless Randy Pitchford's pulling another Randy Pitchford and he went drastically over budget again, which according to some reports, Borderlands 4 has twice the budget of Borderlands 3, which was over budget. So, maybe Randy's not that good at this whole CEO thing anymore, but what else is new? I mean, this is the same guy that oversaw a literal just stealing of money from Sega during the development of Colonial Marines, but Randy's grown so much since then. In more ways than one, am I right? Which was the best way I could think of throwing some extra shade at him for the whole medieval times CP USB thing that we all just kind of swept under the rug a few years ago. Yeah, look into this story. It's fucking weird. Which brings me to another point about this whole thing. Why is Randy Pitchford trying to be the face of Borderlands? Have you noticed that? Like, I can't think of another game CEO that is this, spokesman-y about their games. Like, not even Miyazaki is this involved with the marketing of his games. But whenever you see new Borderlands stuff, it's always Randy Pitchford front and center, Randy Pitchford jumping in front of the camera. And it's not like this is a good dude. It's not like he's a super awesome, charismatic, lovable guy. He's someone that basically everyone in the gaming space understands is a pompous, out-of-touch, rich egomaniac. Why is he now the face of the franchise? And you know his PR team is just loving life right now because their pompous, rich, out-of-touch CEO is insisting on being in front of the camera as much as possible, and now they have to be responsible for walking this fucking nonsense back. It also probably doesn't help that while all of this is going on, people are starting to realize that Borderlands 1 and 2 have some of the most invasive EULA agreements on Steam. For games that have no PvP component, their quote anti-cheat gives them root level access to your computer. This EULA update was not very different from the one that was there before. Yeah, does that make it better? Does that really make it better to you? Joe, don't criticize the new Borderlands EULA, because the shitty parts of it, a lot of those shitty parts were already in there. Does that really make it better to you? No matter how you want to slice it, it really doesn't help matters that during this whole Randy Pitchford $80 defense force, this is also making headlines, is my point. And if Randy Pitchford really cared about doing things for the, quote, real fans, maybe a good place to start would be advocating for a removal of the root level anti-cheat in a game that doesn't even need anti-cheat because it's fucking Borderlands. I truly hope this game fails. I truly do. I've never been huge into Borderlands. I never really got the appeal. I've been meaning to go back and play Borderlands 1 and 2. I fucking won't now, thanks for that, Randy. I was literally about to install Borderlands 2 as soon as I finished something on my backlog. Like, Borderlands 2 was on the top, near the top of my Steam Deck game backlog. It's not anymore. Fantastic work you're doing here, Randy. I'm sure your employees really appreciate you, because I'm sure if this game does have any kind of financial woes, you're going to be the one to take responsibility for that and make sure the people who are just following orders and doing the things that you told them to do and following along with the directions that you ultimately have control over, I'm sure you're going to be the one to take responsibility for that, which is why throughout all of Gearbox's controversies and financial disappointments and financial woes, you've been constant. You've never had any problems because you're just such a great guy. I truly hope this game fails. I'm not saying you shouldn't play it. I'm just saying I hope it financially fails. My favorite ride at Disneyland is Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm just gonna do the Doofus Club now, but since it's a Borderlands themed video, we're gonna do it looter shooter style, which means every single time I say your name, you have to punch yourself in the head until a big glowing green prize comes out. Don't actually do that. Mash Star, Rip and Tear is what my PP says when I see Panny, Bearbrain, Epigon 504, Grimsy, Edge Knight 1789, Ass, Rip 3, and DeVito until it is done. Kushka, Nate, it's Murkoff Brand, of course, it's Save, Unicorn, Rocco, Wild Gamer 2001, Opossum, Bender Fondue at Nomega, Hero Culture, Astripper 69 420, English Motherfucker, Do You Speak It, aka Big Tech, Tom from Spokane, Dial Up, Kyle Ward 789, Sense Nakage, Non Voila, Master Killer, The Return of the King, but it's upside down, George from Seattle, Partial Mean 8, Nick, Molt Theme, Folk, Salto, Cloaked Onyx, at JJ Dusty, Hail de Nouveau Pub, Cod Stop It, Codman 4372WX, Joe, it's the Gamer 127YT, not 127WT, get it memorized, Oblivion Remasters Game of the Year, Joe Pookie, please join voice chat more, Celerock, Gold Pyrox, Zombie Fan, Alderatho 1, Astripper 5000, Doug, Nigsy Smile, Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Joe, please touch us, tip you sexy man, MK2396E, and still the moat, Joe, please get help, Henthyax, Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Flip the Penguin, Banshee, GW, GWXSS, Harass the Wolf, Evan K, Evan Co, OK Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zero Gaming, Dead People, all the games video, Japanese name, Max Kilovich Game, Biscuit 1101, Todd Howard's our Lord and Savior, Horizon Forbidden Western Master, Program for the Backing, Just Shepherd, Weakest Power, Big Dabby, Muskie, I'm not hyper GTA 6, it doesn't look that interesting to me, Caribbean the Steel Angel, and everything is better in the Switch 2, Sergeant Jason Baum, Baron Von Vaderham, Astripper 69, Xbox raised prices, now I can't afford a motorcycle, True Texkin 940, Bing 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 Bong, Thing Ting Bing Ring Ling Ying Ying Ying, the first two of his Max, fucking Creed Warrior 23, fucking Max It Chev, Chips going away for a while, take care now, totally insane, even done Audrey Black Cobra and the NWA Slayer, now and I have Cypher, ML04, I 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray, oh no, it's Poopsie Wolf of Midnight, Stick Rider, Pig Venus, Kev Dog, 1992, Steve Win Studios, Film Kraken, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Thornskate, Mag Neck 7, MS Spino 3, it's Kyle Linder, Figure Wine Mixer, Pow Pow, White Trouble, Nick Donegan draws Max on Twitch, take on, but that goes after Donnie Weston, which is Gob Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinner, Coke, Moofus, Hangman for Hire, Elden Noble, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Ian in Action, Bobby Pinkus 97, Mega Key, Scruffy Skull, Ghost Ho, Reese, Hoggy, Jojo 6, Vasco, Femtanker, Raptor Tim, The Amazing Blight Man, Blue Hook, Willie, JJ Schnorlax, and the Mr. Techno Squeak, Jody, Breeze, Smitty, Burger, Jäger, Man Jensen, Maxler, The Cool Arrow, Mick Advertisement, Diego Garcia, Mick Advertisement, Diego Garcia, JJ Jose, Mike Kimmikins, Rebel Blood 80, Big Fudge, Oracle, Darth Muffin, No, it's Justin, Randroid, Tuning Way, Mechanical Resonance, Extreme the Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, my name is Mud, Joe Taku, Recovering Alcoholic, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Wested Mill, 310 Char, Rob C, Chicken Jockey Veg, The Groovy Banana, Curtin Allensback, Wear a Maid Dress once you hit 20k, Joe, The Last Melon, fuck my fucking fuck Randy Pitch fuck Toodles.